Good morning and welcome to another edition of Wakey and Fakey with Reiki. And I'm in my new studio. Let me have some coffee. If you're joining me, or if you'll be joining me, you'll know that's a sign to enjoy some coffee. I just got sitting down here because this is all new. That's my workbench. Here's my weightlifting bench. I used to be right there. I could see outside through the garage doors. I just got this organized yesterday, and all's good. All's good. I'm very happy. So today, I want to start this out. The reason I'm going to talk about this subject, and remember it's me, I'm going over this in my own head, is in one of the Reiki groups I was in yesterday. They asked if Reiki works if you believe it or not. And instantly, yes, no answers. And I noticed the no answers were pretty emphatic. And someone even gave an example of their answer, and yet their answer proved it wasn't what they said. The reason I'm saying this is I'm going to share my view of what the answer to that is and why. I also want you to know that this is my answer. It's not what I believe is the final answer in the world. We all have to come up with our own answers. After 60 plus some years on this planet, I finally got it. Yes, we go ask mentors and we ask teachers and we ask these things, but ultimately it comes down to what you and I believe. And that's on absolutely anything. And I personally believe, and this goes into what I'm going to talk about on top of the subject, is that we need to challenge our beliefs constantly. Because so many times we find out what we believed is not real. And this goes back to what I said here. I'm going to share my thoughts and beliefs on something, after hours and hours and years thinking about this subject. It's not the final answer. It's just what I say. If what I say resonates with you, take it into your life. Look at it, turn it around, rip it apart. See if it looks the same or if it works. And if it does, well, use it. If not, throw it in the garbage. Does Reiki work or not? Yes or no? If you're locked into absolutely a belief that yes, it does work, or no, does Reiki work if you believe it or not? That's what it is. And if you're locked into yes, it will work whether you believe it or not, you're part of a cult. And that's what the subject of this talk about is cults, which is an extreme form of spirituality. Cult is where you get into something and you're brainwashed. You listen to what the cult tells you and you don't think of anything else. And it's just that. You don't question it. And that's what's happening in Reiki. I'm seeing so many people now, and especially now that I've come back into it from being away from it for 4 years, it's taking on this cult religion, like where people are going and looking at one aspect of it and saying, this is what it is. They're doing it with Dr. Yusui. I refer to him as Yusui Sensei. He's just simply a man who's walked the path before me, and that's why I respect him and follow him. He didn't create what Reiki is, because people keep calling Reiki the universal energy, and I'm getting triggered, so never mind. People have different views of this. And so yes, they're taking it into a religion. And it's a religion and it's a cult when you don't question what we believe Dr. Yusui said, and you're following it to a T. And what I'm seeing now is people are then dismissing others who are doing what Dr. Yusui did, or Yusui Sensei did, and he repackaged it. He looked at the way that people were doing stuff, and there's a different part, but he repackaged it and said, no, I'm not going to follow the cult, I'm going to follow a different way of thinking, and he created it. And so now within Reiki, we have this way of doing this. And the proof should be there's not one way, because there's so many different forms of Reiki. There's so many different forms of hands-on healing, and they're all just as powerful. what I would encourage people to do is the same thing that I do. I am going back and I'm looking at the original method that Dr. Usui, Sensei Usui said. And the thing is, we don't have exact words. Everything is second and third person from him. There's transcriptions from his book, and it's so simple and pure. And so that's what I'm looking at to bring into my life. The simple, the pure, and how to redefine it. But I'm not going to make it my religion. I continually tear it apart. And that's where I mentioned extreme spirituality. What I find fascinating about extreme spirituality is, back in 2003, 2004, I went through firewalk training with Tolly Burton, who is the father of firewalk, and he taught Tony Robbins and pretty much all the great firewalkers in the world. I got the opportunity to go through his training twice. So I have no idea where I went there. Maybe it's because I haven't done enough of it. I was talking, I knew I'd come back. He had a book called Extreme Spirituality, and it's about all these different ways that you can physically do stuff to tap into your spirituality. Firewalking, glass walking, breaking boards, burying yourself up to your neck, and a lot of other extreme spirituality things to find your own spirituality. And I dug it. I loved it. And because I got into firewalking to the level of I was doing fire immunity, where you actually stay standing in the fire, I pushed these things. And I wanted the wet domain extreme spirituality, so I went and typed it in, and he already had it because he has a book. It's been okay. Right before I came to the ranch here, so it's been about 4 months. I went searching for that again. I had this feeling, and boom, I got the domain extreme spirituality. So I'm bringing that aspect into my life. And what does that have to do with all of this? And why did I mention it at the beginning? And why am I ending it all? To challenge your beliefs, to challenge your religion, to challenge your faith, to challenge your God, to challenge Reiki. That's extreme spirituality, and that's the best thing you can do for your life. Challenge every belief you have, especially about yourself. We put ourselves down so much. In me, when I was in the Reiki community, I was powerful. My Reiki was powerful. Healing, yeah. When I left it and started getting away and started doing stuff, it started waning, and I started doing healing on myself, and it wasn't working as well. Once I made the decision to step back into Humikido, which was about a month ago, and take it, I says I have to anchor in my belief that this energy is real. So I started using the energy on my knee, and I started re-healing my knee, because nothing's permanent. So yes, my knee was healed 7 years ago with Reiki, but it's starting to pop again. And so I started doing the healing, and my belief and faith wasn't as strong. It was there, but it wasn't as strong. And so it was slowly healing. I saw that. I saw after, it was like 3 days, that something was improving in my knee, and my belief in it got stronger. And the last couple of days I've been doing this new form of Reiki. I'm going to make this cool course. It's awesome. It's called Iron Man Reiki. And I've been doing Iron Man Reiki on my knee. Whoa. Yes, I now am back to feeling the energy of before. When I do just 2 minutes of this Iron Man Reiki on my knee is getting warm, and yeah, my knee is definitely improving because I believe it's improving. This is going back to the question about Reiki. You have to believe it. The example someone gave was their father didn't believe it. And then they came to the son and says, okay, let's try it. Well, the thing was, the son believes Reiki. One of them believes it. The father wouldn't have asked unless there was a tiny bit of belief in there, just like me coming back the second time to heal my knee. There's a tiny bit of belief, and so my knee healed a bit. Has to be belief, because if both parties don't even believe, you're not even going to do Reiki. You're not going to send distant Reiki unless one side believes. And as we know, you're not supposed to send You're not supposed to give Reiki unless the other person gives permission. Must be a reason to that. Probably has to do with the faith thing, because a person's not going to say yes unless there's a tiny, tiny bit of faith in their belief. And that's all we need. We just need that doorway. So that's it for this one. Yeah, Wakey, Bakey, and Reiki. Again, I'm not trying to tell you what this stuff is. What this stuff about belief and cults and faiths, this is stuff I've spent years thinking about. I just got done with my morning dot meditation, and for 10 minutes I cleared my mind so that information could come about beliefs, faiths, cults. Where am I holding myself back? So this Wakey, Bakey, and Reiki is just looking into that. Over there I can see myself in the camera and going, let's talk to myself, Doug. Let's tell myself. Let's anchor in. Let's re-look at. And if you who are watching get anything out of this, great. If you have a different beliefs, put it down there below in the comments, because as I get into stuff, I'm going to have to go click the subscribe channel and do all of that stuff, because I want more people watching. I want more people connecting into Yumikido, because Yumikido is ultimately about Vet 22, about helping those 22 veterans that are killing themselves every day. Let's help those people. Yeah, that's what I'm all about. Whew, I need a hit. That's what I believe in. So take care. I should do it anyway. Take care. Oh. Part of Reiki is a practice. It's not the energy. Reiki is a practice of what do you do every day to become spiritually developed. And one of the things I am doing, one of my Reiki practices, my Yumikido practices, is that I greet and I end a session with someone with Namaste. So I will do that. Namaste. Now we'll do the part where I come out and say goodbye.